Hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is Troy Allen Galot. Welcome to Trigger Time TV, presented by Crossbreed Holsters. In today's episode, Kerry Davis of Dark Angel Medical is going to talk about a subject that a lot of gun guys really don't like to get bogged down in, and that's environmental injuries.
Hey folks, we're back on the range. This is Kerry Davis at Dark Angel Medical. We're going to talk to you today about a couple of things that a lot of folks don't put a lot of time and thought into, and that's environmental injuries. We talk about traumatic injuries, we talk about non-traumatic injuries, we talk about minor trauma, we talk about major trauma, but we don't really think a lot about some of the things that take a lot of don't take a lot of thought, and that's just preventative injuries, preventative measures that can prevent these environmental injuries. Well, the one we're going to be talking about today is heat exhaustion. What is heat exhaustion? We got to know a little bit about how the body works and what these injuries are before we can really understand how we're going to treat them, how we're going to fix them. We got to think the three questions. What is it? How do I recognize it? How do I treat it? Well, what is heat exhaustion? Heat exhaustion is basically when your body is overheated and you've lost a lot of electrolytes through sweating, through strenuous activity in a hot environment. Typically in a humid environment like we have here on our range here in Mississippi, in the summertime it can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous because when we sweat, we don't evaporate. Our body's kind of like a swamp cooler. Think of it like that. When we get this layer of sweat on our skin, it doesn't evaporate. So what happens is the sweat stays on our skin. And as it stays on our skin, we tend to not let it doesn't evaporate, so we tend to hold the heat in. We don't let the heat go. We don't let the water go off of our skin to cool us down. So as that layer of sweat stays on our skin, it builds our internal temperature up, our core temperature. As that happens, we sweat more. As we sweat more, we lose more electrolytes. As we lose more electrolytes, our situation becomes more extreme because our muscles require electrolytes to function properly. What's our heart? It's a muscle. What are some of the signs and symptoms you might see? Well, a sign is something that I can see. A symptom is something that the victim is telling me. If a victim says, I feel sick to my stomach, I feel nauseated, and then they throw up, well, that's a symptom, right? Or that's a sign. They're telling me is a symptom. It's subjective and objective. Now, if I've got somebody that's got a situation like that, well, there's a lot of things I need to do to help them out, to get them out of that danger area and get them into someplace less dangerous. And that's going to be basically going from the heat to the cooler area. Out of the sunlight into the shade. That's about a 10 to 15 degree difference, and that can make a big difference in treating a heat casualty. Getting their clothes off, or getting their area, the hot area exposed. Taking hats off, because you can lose about 60% of your body heat just through your head. Go ahead and get that area cooled off with a cool, moist cloth. Ice packs under their armpits, behind their knees, in their groin, anything around their neck, because these are high arterial circulation areas. What that's going to do is going to pull the heat out of the bloodstream and cool it with the ice packs, and it's going to take it back to central core circulation, kind of like a radiator. When we're doing that, if they're lucid enough or alert enough, what we want to be doing to them is talking with them. Give them something by mouth. We want to look for electrolyte solutions, like a half-strength Gatorade or something like that, or some sort of thing like Drip Drop or Elixir, Noon Tabs, any kind of electrolyte replacement solutions without a lot of water, well, without a lot of sugar. Because what happens if somebody drinks a lot of sugar, it pulls it into their gut. Don't give them Coke, don't give them tea, don't give them coffee, anything like that's going to make them diurese or urinate more.
How you feeling, sir?
When they have these electrolytes in their body, that's going to help them recover a lot quicker. Some of the other signs and symptoms we might see from them, besides the nausea and vomiting, abdominal cramping, cramping in the legs, again with the excessive sweating, decreased urination. Maybe even an altered mental status. If they have an altered mental status, definitely take anything away from them that could be construed as dangerous or deadly, because we don't want them getting altered and hurting themselves or someone else. Too much water is a bad thing. Anything good, too much of it can be a bad thing, and water is not, and there's no exception with that, because what can happen with that is they can end up diuresing or urinating off all of their sodium. When they urinate off all their sodium, that creates a fluid shift or a fluid imbalance in the brain. That can cause cerebral edema or swelling in the brain, and that can lead to seizures and death. So too much water is a bad thing, too little water is a bad thing. Monitor the urination status, make sure they're urinating on a regular basis. It's nice and clear, not yellow and concentrated. Give them some electrolyte solutions, mix a half and half of water, like a 1-for-1 ratio, and keep them out of the heat. If they start getting hot, get them cool. Keep it simple, keep it safe. Any information, contact us at info@darkangelmedical.com. Stay safe.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters, Osprey Armaments, Troy Industries, Troy Defense, BCM, Bravo Company USA, Keltec, Nemo Arms, Tactical Walls, Dark Angel, Mission First Tactical, EOTech, Mayflower Research and Consulting, Streamlight, Wiley X, and Freedom Munitions.